Hello, we are back with a Lewis structure example. So here we can see we have a carbon, an oxygen, and two chlorines. So we want to make a Lewis structure for this, and hopefully you just joined me for the last video. So you've already gone through one short example, but let's do another one. So we're going to start again by summing the number of valence electrons. So carbon we know has 4 valence electrons, which means it can bond 4 times. 4 bonds. Oxygen still has 6 valence electrons, which means it can bond 2 times. 2 bonds to oxygen. And then we have 2 chlorines. And each chlorine has 7 valence electrons, which means it can bond 1 time. Okay, so remember we had that from this equation before. And we know that this total is 24 total valence electrons. 24 valence electrons total. So that's how many we have to play with. And we want to get all of those atoms a full octet. So we're going to start with identifying our central atom now. And remember that it's the one that can bond the most or the least electronegative, which is in this case carbon. And then I'm going to put a Cl on either side. Remember, just start by drawing a couple lines to each. That's called the skeletal structure. And we're going to put oxygen up top. And now we're going to go through and we're going to add in our electrons to give everything a full octet and then see what we need to change. So to do carbon, we add 2 because remember each bond is 2 shared, which counts as 2. Then we're going to give each chlorine and the oxygen 6, and then we're going to check our work and see. So first, does everything have a full octet? We can see that each chlorine has 6 electrons in lone pairs. Lone pairs. This has 2 electrons in lone pairs. And 3 in bonds, or 6 electrons in bonds in 3 bonds. And oxygen has 6 electrons in lone pairs. And then we see 2 electrons assigned to each of those, 2 more there, and 2 more there from each of those bonds. So we see that everything has an octet, which is good so far. And we now need to check to see how many electrons we used. How many did we use to get there? So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Oh, already counted that one. 20. Oh, we're going to have too many. 22, 24, 26. Okay, so we have too many. Now we need to figure out where we can move things around to get the right number. So we know that chlorine can't bond more than once. So the chlorines are going to stay the same, but the carbon and the oxygen both have another bond to give. So we're going to erase a lone pair from each of those and connect in the middle. And now we've taken, we took away 4 electrons in lone pairs, so minus 4 electrons in lone pairs, but then added 2 electrons in a bond. So we started, we had too many, we had 26 electrons, but now we've brought it down to 24, which is the number that we wanted. And we can see that everything kept its full octet. Carbon has 4 bonds, which is 8 electrons. We can see that oxygen has 2 bonds, 2 lone pairs. So that checks out because everything's by 2. Chlorine, we already did. We had 6 electrons in lone pairs and 2 in a bond. So now we have the right number of atoms, octet, 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 and everything is represented. So that is our Lewis structure for that compound. I hope that clears things up a little bit, or at least gives you some basis to go on, and thank you for joining.